Coach, when I say Naismith Coach of the Year, what comes to mind after just a magical season a year ago?
It's really crazy. As a coach, you have goals, but they're always team goals, right? Like we want to go to the NCAA tournament, we want to go to Final Four, win national championship, just those type, win the Big 12 championship. I never in my life dreamt or thought about being Naismith Coach of the Year, so it's just crazy.
I read in a preseason publication that last year, walking into the season, in spite of the struggles and taking over the team, that you said out loud, no, we plan on making the NCAA tournament. Why were you so bullish on that group, and how do you feel about this team?
Well, I haven't been in the league as long as I have. When I saw the collection who we were able to put together, I knew that we had enough to get to the NCAA tournament. And even though we were picked 10th, I thought, man, if we're the 10th best team in our league, we're going to have 10 teams in the NCAA tournament. And so,
which could happen this year.
Well, yes, which very
right?
much so, right?
Yeah.
And so having been through it a while, and then I didn't want to set my expectations too low for our guys, and which I think I might have anyhow. So won't let that happen.
I meant
again.
Elite Eight. Yeah. How you feeling about this year's team?
Love this team. We have an NCAA tournament team right now. We have a small margin for error, and we have to continue growing and stuff. But we've got the pieces that we can go to Phoenix, and so I'm excited about that.
You take over a program that was 14-17 the year before you become the head coach, and then, as Jerry mentioned, you go to the Elite Eight and make this magical run deep into the NCAA tournament. I think every coach in America is looking for, certainly if they're in that quick turnaround phase, the formula to finding that magic. So what was it, as a first-year head coach with so many moving parts, what was it that made Kansas State special and made them kind of bond together that way and be an elite level team?
Well, special people, right? And great people make great programs, and guys like Marquise Noel and Ish Massoud and Keontae Johnson, just the whole crew of those guys coming together and being willing to sacrifice for each other and really love each other. Marquise did an unbelievable job of building team chemistry off the court multiple times through the summer, and as we was putting it together, he would call and say, Coach, can we take the whole team to the movie? Can we all go? He was always doing things with those guys. And then he worked harder than everybody else so he could hold them accountable on the court. His leadership was ridiculous. And then I have the best staff in America. I mean, they're guys that I know they love me and they love our guys, and we're all on the same page moving forward. And they're not afraid to tell me when I'm not doing something right. And we're all coachable. And that kind of vulnerability allowed our guys to be vulnerable and buy in. And then our fan base is just incredible. And, you give them something to be excited about, and they can be excited to the extreme. And I love that about them. They're so passionate and gives us a home court advantage. And so that was just a lot of stuff coming together at the right time.
You added some nice pieces. Tyler Perry, grad transfer, the Conference USA Player of the Year at 17 a game. Arthur Kaluma from Creighton. Of course, Quez, we'll talk about in a second. But you added some really nice pieces. How you feeling about those guys and what they can do for you?
No, I like those guys. And last year we had 10 high school state championships on our team. And this year, I believe,
that mattered to you.
Yeah, winning matters. And this year, I believe we have 8 state championships, but every guy on our team except for Tyler Perry has been to the NCAA tournament.
Really?
Yes.
And you anticipate he will this year?
Yeah. And the only reason is that, their conference tournament is ridiculous, and, one shot here and there, and then they win, the NIT. So, we got a bunch of winners. And so excited about those guys, what they bring to the table, their experience, and fun to watch them try to embrace a new way, right? And not necessarily a better way, just a different way, and how we do things, and so that's fun to watch them evolve.
And Jerome mentioned Quez Glover now joins your team. He actually leaves BYU to join Kansas State. How's he fitting in Manhattan and with your squad?
Oh, he's been terrific. He is a winner. Quez, one of those guys who won a state championship in high school, played in the NCAA tournament at Florida. Just really exciting, fun, happy guy, smile on his face every day, and he brought just great energy, and the intensity level moved up a notch when he stepped on the floor, and so that's made us a better team.
You and Mark Pope went to Rucker Park, and you've been in some meetings. I know you made some comments in a press conference about Quez and whatnot. Everything smoothed over? Everything good with kind of that situation there?
Yeah, Mark called me, and, he answered a question to the media, and then I also answered a question to the media. And sometimes, the way things are said or the words that are used don't come across the way you really want it. And
Sure.
so maybe it didn't come off the way I wanted to say it. But we've talked, and he's a terrific guy, and I know he loves his guys, and excited for the opportunity for us to be able to play.
I feel like along those lines that this group of coaches could fare well if there was like a 5-on-5 among the coaches against other leagues. Do you feel that way? You got Johnny Dawkins shooting, you got Mark Pope in the post, and whatnot?
Yeah, let me coach it, and I'll let those guys play, and we'll be just fine.
Aside from Mark Pope, when you look at BYU basketball, what's the perception of Cougar hoops from your standpoint in Manhattan, Kansas?
Well, I had the pleasure of being able, or displeasure of being able to play there once when we was at Baylor. And
was it 2011?
Brandon Davies
Yes.
was on the team. We had Pierre Jackson. And,
Yes, very good team.
And, you get there, and the fans were so nice. Like, everybody was there were gifts in the lockers for us. And then you walk out, and the introduction is ridiculous, right? The Cougar run, the sheet drops down,
Yep.
and then the fans just go nuts on you, right? Like it was an unbelievable environment, like as good of an environment, basketball environment as I've ever been in. And it came down to the last play. Davies goes for a 3-peer, rotates over, tips it, blocks the shot.
That's what BYU drawn up, Brandon Davies 3.
Well, it was a trail
chaos
play,
Yes.
It was a trail play and pitch behind him, but that's just and Pierre reacted to it, and it was a big time win for us, man. And but I just remember what a great experience that was.
RG3 had just won the Heisman. So there was kind of this congrats to RG3 thing. It was a cool day.
Yeah.
My sister got married that day, so I didn't go to the game.
Oh.
And I had talked about it a little too much. So when we kind of go through the line, and my brother-in-law goes, "Sorry, you missed the game." And I was like, "Oh, I've said too much. My bad. My bad."
Priorities.
But that was a huge day. Yeah, that was a big game.
What's it like for you to compete against Scott Drew, a guy you're so close with, but now you're on opposing benches?
Yeah, Coach, our practice environments was such that, like, he would coach one team, I would coach the other. He'd always, we coached against each other for 19 years, pretty much. And we're very competitive, both of us, in whatever we're doing. And people don't know this. The smile on his face, like when he's playing basketball, he talks noise, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, he talks noise.
I would not guess that.
Yeah. And so he's just a super competitive guy. But once we step away from that, we love each other. And so it's not a lot of fun you like to compete against your brother. Somebody's going to win. Problem is somebody's going to lose in this league. And, he's a Hall of Famer. He's got a national championship. The stuff that he's accomplished in his lifetime. One loss every now and then is not going to bother him too much. But
it's going to be all right. What's the best, because I get called Jerome sometimes. What's the best thing about being named Jerome? Besides,
I think there's
Jerome
a Saint Jerome.
Okay, yes.
Saint Jerome.
Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
and there was, growing up in Trinidad, there was a Father Jerome, and the worst thing is the Jerome Rome one. The Martin Jerome Rome. That's the worst thing.
That's the worst thing. Luckily, no one put that on me. You grew up in Trinidad.
Yeah, I was born in Trinidad, and then grew up in St. Croix.
When did you move to the States?
I moved from Trinidad to St. Croix when I was 3-ish. Moved from St. Croix to Texas when I was 10.
So when you're a 10-year-old kid, you were thinking, "Yeah, I'm going to lead a team in MSG to the Elite Eight." Like what a journey for you in your life, it seems like, right?
No, it's been incredible. God's been really good to me.
That's awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
St. Jerome has been good to me as well. Yeah.
We'll finish with this. You talked about BYU's environment. What can BYU fans that make the trip to Manhattan, and then the Cougars will go to Lawrence right after that, by the way.
What a trip.
What can they expect when they go to Manhattan for a basketball game?
Well, our fans are incredible, and it's going to be a ruckus environment. I believe we have very classy fans, and so they will enjoy their time as far as the interaction with the fans. There's some really good places to eat. If I name some, then I will not name others, and then I'll get in trouble. So They'll
stop giving you free food.
Yeah, just all of the restaurants, really nice places to eat, and then everything's really close. And so Manhattan's a very nobody's in a hurry. According to my wife, no one is in a hurry except for me and Jerome. Yes. Me and Jerome are the only two people in all of Manhattan that are in a hurry.
Is that your kid's name, Jerome?
No, Jerome is one of my assistants.
One of your assistants.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he's from the islands too. So
Gotcha.
I think it's an island.
He's
thing.
like one of your kids. Yeah.
Slow it down in Manhattan, unless you're with Coach Tang. Let's speed it up.
Everybody but me.
I love it. Hey, congratulations on everything, Coach. We were grateful to have you with us on the show today and look forward to a great Big 12 season.
Thank y'all for having me.